Good morning, I'm Craig Negrelli. It's Friday, January 3rd, 2025, and these are your Unbiased Updates. 100% inspired by ISIS. The FBI unveiled more about the man who drove a truck into people celebrating New Year's in New Orleans, killing more than a dozen. And the big event signifying that life in the Big Easy is starting to resume. And deal blocked. Reports say President Biden is about to make a big decision on the proposed takeover of U.S. Steel. What the president plans to say as early as today, and where President-elect Trump stands when it comes to the steelworkers.
From the Straight Arrow News Studio, bringing the stories that matter to you from across the United States and around the world, these are today's Unbiased Updates.
We begin this morning with some major developments from South Korea and the tug of war over power. After hours of trying, South Korean investigators gave up on arresting impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol. Efforts were suspended after nearly 6 hours of a standoff at his presidential residence. South Korea's anti-corruption agency called off its investigators due to concerns about their safety after the Presidential Security Service blocked them from entering Yoon's residence. Yoon, a former prosecutor, has defied investigators' attempts to question him for weeks in connection with the short-lived period of martial law he imposed at the beginning of December. A court in Seoul issued a warrant for Yoon's detention on Tuesday, but enforcing it is becoming complicated. Yoon's lawyers, who filed a challenge to the warrant on Thursday, say it cannot be enforced at his residence due to a law that protects locations potentially linked to military secrets from search without the consent of the person in charge. The anti-corruption agency says it will discuss what comes next, but did not immediately say whether it would make another attempt to detain Yoon. The warrant for his detention is valid for 1 week. Turning now to the latest in the investigation into the deadly truck attack in New Orleans on New Year's Day that killed 14 people and injured dozens of others. The FBI now says it believes the suspect, Shamsuddin Jabbar, likely acted alone and was 100% inspired by the radical Islamic terror group ISIS. The FBI coming to that conclusion after conducting hundreds of interviews and reviewing phone calls, social media accounts, and electronic devices connected to the suspect. Sources tell ABC News bomb-making materials were found at Jabbar's home in Houston after agents executed a search warrant. The FBI also says at this time there appears to be no definitive link between the terror attack and an explosion outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas. We learned on Thursday the man who carried out the explosion of the Cybertruck in front of the hotel was an Army Green Beret who earned 5 Bronze Stars. Authorities identified his burned body by matching his tattoos. Meantime, life started to get back to normal in New Orleans. A huge game in the college football playoff took place, and visitors were once again allowed back in the French Quarter. Here's Straight Arrow News reporter Chris Francis with a look at what went on both inside and outside the Superdome.
Delayed nearly 24 hours because of the terror attack on Bourbon Street, the Sugar Bowl between Georgia and Notre Dame, part of the college football playoff, went off without a hitch on Thursday. The Fighting Irish punched their ticket to the playoff semifinals with a 23-10 win over Georgia, but heavy on everyone's mind was the tragedy early on New Year's Day. There was a pregame moment of silence for the victims of the truck attack that killed 14 and injured 35. Extra security was in place in and around the Caesars Superdome. 2 hours prior to kickoff, Bourbon Street was actually reopened. New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell's message was clear.
I want to reassure the public that the city of New Orleans is not only ready for game day today, but we're ready to continue to host large-scale events in our city.
New Orleans is the site of Super Bowl 59, which will bring hundreds of thousands of visitors to the city. On Wednesday, the NFL released a statement mourning the victims and reassuring fans. The NFL and the local host committee have been working collaboratively with local, state, and federal agencies the past 2 years and have developed comprehensive security plans. These planning sessions will continue as they do with all major NFL events, and we're confident attendees will have a safe and enjoyable Super Bowl experience.
With Notre Dame's victory, the college football playoff semifinals are set. The Fighting Irish will now face Penn State in the Orange Bowl on January 9th, and Texas will meet Ohio State in the Cotton Bowl on January 10th. The two winners will play in the national championship game on Monday, January 20th. It will be the first championship game since the NCAA went to a 12-team playoff format. 2 people are dead and 19 more hurt after a small plane crashed into a furniture manufacturing building in Southern California yesterday afternoon. The people who died were believed to have been on the plane, while those injured were among the 200 or so people inside the building. Paramedics took nearly a dozen people to the hospital. 8 others were treated and released at the scene. The crash happened about a half a mile from the Fullerton Municipal Airport. Investigators are working to figure out what led up to the disaster. This morning, reports indicate President Biden has decided to block Nippon Steel's bid to purchase U.S. steel due to risks to national security. The Washington Post and the New York Times are among the media outlets saying Biden will make the announcement as early as today. According to the Post, the decision comes amid warnings from senior advisors saying the U.S. rejecting the Japanese corporation's $14.9 billion offer could damage relations between the two countries. Biden's move comes after the Interagency Committee on Foreign Investment in the United States could not reach a conclusion on the risks of Nippon's offer, leaving the decision up to the White House. While shareholders of U.S. Steel back the takeover, the proposed deal has faced opposition from union members and politicians, including Biden, who had said in the past he opposed it. In addition, President-elect Donald Trump vowed to block the deal when he takes office later this month. A group of American steelworkers had endorsed him during the campaign during his swings through western Pennsylvania. Nippon Steel and U.S. Steel have both indicated they will take legal action if the federal government blocks the deal. In Washington, the 119th Congress starts today with Republicans in full control of the House and Senate for the first time since 2019. The new term, which lasts 2 years, begins when House members are sworn in. But first, they will have to elect a speaker. Despite narrowly hanging on to the GOP majority, 219 to 215, Congressman Mike Johnson's speakership hangs in the balance, with at least one Republican already saying he will not back Johnson, and others expressing concerns about his leadership. Johnson got a major boost this week when President-elect Trump said he is backing Johnson. In the Senate, Republicans will officially take the reins after flipping the majority in the November election. The new Senate Majority Leader is John Thune of South Dakota. Finally this morning, Hollywood's awards season officially kicks off on Sunday with the Golden Globes. The nominees include Timothée Chalamet, Ariana Grande, Selena Gomez, and Angelina Jolie. Movies looking to win big include A Complete Unknown, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Brutalist. On the TV show side, it's The Bear, Shogun, Nobody Wants This, and Only Murders in the Building, among the series looking to take home trophies. The ceremony will be hosted by comedian Nikki Glaser. You'll recall she did the Tom Brady roast. And this year's Golden Globes show airs live on CBS and streams on Paramount+. And the award goes to Straight Arrow News. Wow, a shocker, a surprise. Who knew? Little Friday humor there for you. Those are your unbiased updates for this Friday. We'll see you back here on Monday. For all of us here at Straight Arrow News, I'm Craig DeGrelli. Have a great weekend.